Welcome to another segment of Hepburn's Helpful Hints. This segment is using a number line with the Common Core curriculum in first grade, but with subtraction this time. Please make sure that you've seen that using a number line on addition before viewing this one. Welcome, Michelle Powell.
Hello again. So today we're going to look at using a number line to subtract. Again, this is aligned with first grade Common Core. Let's start off with our number line. I started with my sum, 26 take away 3, 26 minus 3, 26 with 3 less. And it's really good, I think, for the children to hear the different ways that you can say 26 take away 3. I've started off with my bigger number, and I'm going to put my bigger number, or my biggest number, at the beginning of the number line. When I talked about addition, I spoke about starting off showing addition using a 2-digit and 1-digit, and I do exactly the same with subtraction. Now, I've just noticed I've gone and put my 26 at this end of the line, and I really want to make a point about that. We were encouraged to show that a number line has a continuity of numbers. So moving from left to right, our numbers get bigger. And when we use a number line, when we look at a hundreds chart, the children can see that quite clearly. So as not to confuse them, we then, with that in mind, think about subtracting, but we put our bigger number at the opposite end of the number line. So not on the left, but on the right. Because when we're going to subtract, our number is going to get smaller. And in the natural order of things on a number line, on a hundreds chart, from right to left, our numbers are getting smaller. So we are going to use that same kind of thinking so the children can actually see how the numbers get smaller. So let's start with 26 take away 3. Very similar to with looking at addition, we take our 26, our biggest number, and again, I have the children have a group of 26, and I tell them take away 1, and I usually use interlocking blocks. They take away 1. I show them how I'm doing one jump. I ask them to take away another one. We're trying to take away 3. We take away another one. Very important to label our jumps. We have taken away 1, we've taken away another 1, and we've taken away another 1. I have the subtraction sign. The subtraction sign means I am taking away. These symbols have meanings, and I think at a very early age it's important for them to understand what the symbol means and how to use them. So we start at 26. They would have physically taken away 1 each time as I wrote it or as I drew my hops on the number line. Now I tell them let's count. Now with addition we count up, and again with Common Core verbiage we talk about 1 less. Please make sure that you have practiced this with the children, because this can be very frustrating if they are not au fait with adding 1 or 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, 10 less. So what is 1 less than 26? 25. What is 1 less than 25? 24. And what is 1 less than 24? 23. I say to them, count. Prove me wrong. Let me make sure that I got it right. So they count their interlocking blocks, and hopefully they have 23. So that's how we look at subtracting with a 2-digit number with 1-digit number. Looking very closely, we are now not on the left-hand side of the number line, but on the right-hand side, to show that my numbers are getting smaller as they are on a hundreds chart. So we've looked at subtracting 2-digit with 1-digit numbers. Now we're going to look at subtracting multiples of 10s. I'm using the same order of introduction only because I think it's very important at this young age to introduce new material incrementally. And so we started off just using a 2-digit with 1-digit. Now we're looking at multiples of 10s, and we would have practiced 10 less, 10 more. Again, we're doing subtraction. So let me just remind you, we're not going to put my 26 here. We're going to put the 26 on this side of the number line, mainly because we want the children to understand as we take away, as we subtract, my number gets smaller. And the natural order of things on a number line or on a hundreds chart is that the numbers get smaller as you move from right to left. I'm going to go ahead and put my 26 on my number line. Again, we do this whole thing of, I could actually do 10 little jumps. It takes long, it's laborious, I'm going to get confused. If you're in a test, we don't have the time. There must be a quicker way. I asked them at this point to show me 10 using a base 10. Everybody should have a base 10 in their hands. And I said to them, well, you have one base 10, you have one group of 10, you have one rod. And because we've already done addition, they are a little bit au fait now, understanding that I can just do one big jump. I label, always label. So I'm going to write here, take away 10. I am trying to find what is 10 less than 26, which is basically what this sum is asking me. So, what is 10 less than 26? And hopefully they can tell me 16. Once I've done this a number of times, we look at using a different multiple of 10 so that they can basically again see how we can do that multiple times. So I'm going to actually start off with, say, 46 take away 20. Again, my 46 goes on this end of the number line, just to show that my number is going to get smaller because I'm taking away 20. I asked them to show me 20 using base 10. Hopefully they'll have 2 rods in their hand. The 2 rods indicates, the 2 rods mean that this is 20. That is the value of 2 rods. I say to them, well, show me 1 rod. Put that rod down. Put that rod on your table. And then I say, look, you took away 1 rod. I tell them, then put the other rod down. You then have you've taken away 2 rods. Now, one of the things that I will probably ask them to do is maybe to get 46, because if they've actually got the number 46 using base 10, they can actually physically see how you take away these 2 rods, and then they'll have the answer even before I get to writing it. So again, we have to label. Remember to label. I took away 10, and I took away another 10. I asked them then, what is 10 less than 46? 36. I could actually ask them to get their the representation of 46 using base 10, so that they can actually be taken away as I'm writing it on the board. So if I ask them to get their base 10 of 46 and take away 10, they can actually count that they have 36. But we haven't done yet. We're taking away 20, we're not just taking away 10. I tell them, take away another group of 10. What do you have? For those children that still struggle with maybe just knowing what is 10 less than 36, again, they have the manipulative, they have the concrete right there in their hands on their desk. They can tell me, they can see very clearly that 10 less than 36, when I take away one rod, is 26. So, 40, take away 20, is 26. I will say I've had some students that were clever enough and mathematically inclined to tell me, Miss Powell, I already know the answer. And they noticed that if 46 started with the number 4 and they took away 2, they were able to tell me that the answer was 26. They're just showing off. But they were very right. So we successfully looked at subtracting 2-digit with 1-digit. We've now looked, or we have looked at 2-digit with multiples and tens. So now we're going to look at subtracting 2 digits by 2-digit numbers. Basically it's putting everything together, just what we've learned in increments. So again, we're going to start with 26. 26 is my biggest number. Because we're subtracting, we're going to put it at the right-hand side of the number line. It's because we're going to remind the children our number is going to get smaller. So if it's going to get smaller, it's going to move from right to left. This is where it's really interesting. We are literally going to decompose the number 12. We are going to look at what are the parts that make 12. I will ask my children to show me 12. They will show me a rod and 2 ones. We have decomposed this number, or we've written it in expanded form, or we've thought about it in the expanded form. So I tell them, well, let's write that on the number line. I tell them, hold up the rod, which is 10, and I will again draw that on the number line. Now I tell them, what do you have left? They will tell me they have 2 ones. And this is when I say, well, I need to show that on my number line. And I'll tell them, put 1 down. And I will draw that. put another one down, or your last one down, and that's that one there. So my number line looks like Humpty Hump, but we've got to label. So we have to remind ourselves that we took away 10, which was the rod, we took away 1, and we took away another 1. And I don't think I impressed that earlier. Please make sure that they are checking, that these numbers at the top add up to the number that you are subtracting. I'm going to erase this just so that it doesn't get confusing. So these numbers here should add up to 12 because that's how much I want to take away from my 26. Let's have a look at that. 10 and 1 and 1. 10 and 1 and 1 is 12. So I can see I'm going to now take away 12. I've got 26. My number is going to get 12 steps smaller. What's 10 less than 26? Now, if you want to have them have 26 base 10s, this is again a great way they can literally see the number get smaller and smaller and smaller. So they'll have 26. I tell them, take away 1 rod. They should only have 1 left and 6 ones. That's my number 16. Then I'll tell them, take away another 1. What is 1 less than 16? 15. Again, I'll say, for those children that need the concrete, you are showing them a semi-concrete strategy while they're still holding on to the concrete, which I think is like a safe ground for some children. What is 1 less than 15? They will physically take away another small 1. 14. I tell them, are we done? Is there any more to take away? No. We circle our answer. So now I know that 26 take away 12 is 14. As the children become more au fait, they'll be able to do this in their mind without actually drawing a number line. And that's when they'll become great mathematicians for the years to come, 2nd, 3rd and 4th and 5th grade. Thank you.